on, guys? Welcome back to the G.B.B. Jay once again. And we've just seen Manchester United win 3-2 over Newcastle at home, which is fantastic. I think the win obviously means that Jose gets a bit of an extension on his time as manager, but it shows that Manchester United in that second half went after the game and wanted to win it. Whatever was said during that halftime talk between Jose and the players, there might have been some admissions of guilt, and the players actually came out and played like they wanted to be there and they wanted to do it for that shirt. Whether they did it for Mourinho or not stands to be seen in games to come, but at least for this particular game, Manchester United have gotten 3 points, which we need desperately in the league. We said before the game that these players need to have some professional pride about themselves and go out and give a proper account of them being professionals. Definitely not in the first 45 minutes, because we were absolutely shocking. And Newcastle took advantage of our defensive frailties, and I think that Ashley Young was definitely culpable for both goals because he gets turned twice. Bailly gets hooked after 13 minutes, which I don't think was justified because he wasn't the one obviously at fault for both goals, but he obviously wasn't working the way that Jose wanted him to work and was replaced. I don't understand why he persistently puts McTominay in the back to bring the ball back out from the back. It gives us obviously less stability because having a player that's not an out-and-out defender in that position, which I know that we've got two converted wingers playing at fullback, is not much better. But he's got the option with Lindelof on the bench. He could have taken Bailly off and brought Lindelof on, but no, instead he brings on Mata, throws Mata forward, and McTominay comes into the defensive position and plays that role. The first half was definitely not what we wanted to see. At halftime, I was thinking this game is over. Jose's going to get the sack. And I think there's a couple of players that are definitely, if Jose was going out the door, they needed to follow. Because the type of mentality that we had in that first half was shocking. And no one played well for us. Come the second half, and whatever that halftime talk was, the players actually came out with some intent. He obviously made changes at halftime to bring Malouane Fellaini on and Sanchez, who obviously worked to good effect. Malouane obviously holding up the ball, bringing the ball down, with that lumping style up front. Obviously, we get the first goal. It changes the intent of the team with Mata's free kick. Then we have the beautiful link-up play between Martial and Pogba, which was fantastic to see. The little 1-2 play that they did was creative, and that's exactly what type of player Martial is. He likes to attack and use the guys around him to push forward. And in this particular one, it's obviously him and Pogba that link up, obviously both being French. They obviously have an understanding of the way to play, or the way the two of them play together. And it was fantastic to see them get the goal. And then at the dying moments in Fergie time, pretty much, we see Sanchez get his first goal for the season. He obviously got into a good position. He was very much, and Shannon said this when we spoke about the game, that Martial and Sanchez were ghosting each other quite a bit. They were ending up in the same areas, playing off the same side, and getting in each other's way sometimes, which wasn't good. But obviously they both have the intent to get forward and attack. For Sanchez to get a goal, I was obviously a big advocate of him being dropped, but I think he's served his time. He's come back in. He's got that goal. Hopefully it gives him the spark that he needs to kick on and really put a push to have some better form going forward for United. If we can have Sanchez scoring, Martial scoring, Mata scoring, hopefully Lukaku breaks this drought and gets back to scoring ways, and Pogba as well, we'll become a lethal team. The team that we have on paper will actually be out on the pitch. I don't think that we've seen the loss of Mourinho's changes, and I said to Shannon that I think that it might be the last time we see Bailly start for United. He possibly could come off the bench or play in a couple of the cup runs, but I don't think he's going to play again in the Premier League as a starting centre back at least, or whatever he needs to change in his game. I think Mourinho's going to hone in on that pretty severely after the game that we just saw. And speaking of Mourinho, as I said, he fights, he survives to fight another day. But how long that lasts, let's see. We've obviously got the international break now for 2 weeks, so we won't see United back in action until the 20th, up against Chelsea, which, again, his head could be on the chopping block. Obviously, them being a bigger team than Newcastle and us expecting to get the win against Newcastle, or hoping to get the win against Newcastle. We come up against a Chelsea team that are in fine form this season, a lot better than they were last season, and under Sarri, they're playing some great football. Obviously, the additions that they've got in the team means that they're a much more scary prospect than Newcastle was, but Newcastle still gave us a very big scare. Guys, thanks for joining me on this video. Please comment, subscribe, like, and share. Check us out on all our social media platforms. We'll have some more content coming out during this international break, and it'll be something to look out for. Guys, thanks for joining me, and shot.